everyone, I'm Danielle from Cageless Readings. So today's pick a card reading is going to be about your career and what to expect in the next month or two. I want to do this reading because career is something that we will do most our lives and spend a lot of time doing, and I know it can be so draining when we aren't sure if we're doing what we should be doing, if we're not loving our job, or if we're feeling really stuck or blocked in our careers. So with that all being said, my intention was to get some messages, some guidance from your guides on your career right now and how to make it a little easier for you and what's coming your way. And then as for the healing, we will be at the end of the pile for everyone today. So if you're interested in that, there will be a timestamp in the description box for that. Okay, let's get into your card readings. So we have 3 piles to choose from. This first pile here is a piece of leopard skin Jasper. There we go. Pile 2 is this piece of Bumblebee Agate. Okay, and pile 3 is this piece of lace agate. All right, so please take a few deep breaths just to ground yourself so you can really be aligned with your intuition and choose your piles from there. Okay, so I will get right into your card readings. Hello, pile 1. You all chose this piece of leopard skin Jasper. Just put it right there. And let's just see what we got for what's coming your way for career. Okay, we have Martyr. We have Mother Mary, Daily Practice, and Blocks Lifted. Okay, pile 1, as this might be hard for you to believe, but I think whatever struggles you've been having with the career that you're going into or you've started to come into, and I do think the career that you've been trying to do is fairly new. I do feel like maybe it's just been a year or two, but everything here is really, really good information. So when I pulled these archetype cards, I did set the intention that I only wanted the light attribute to come through. So that's all we're going to pay attention to. We're not paying attention to the shadow. And here it says, learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause. And right next to it came out Mother Mary, which is just amazing. So when I see this, this means that the work that you're doing is your soul purpose work. You are supposed to be doing this. You are exactly in the field of work you're supposed to be in. If you even but there's been so many blocks. Right here it even says blocks lifted. Previous obstacles came from fear and they are now lifted away. And when I see daily practice, I mean, a lot of this is actually very clear and straightforward card reading. Those don't usually happen so easily, but there's just no doubt in this message. And even as I'm saying this, I'm getting so much ringing in my ear, which is just further confirmations for me that it's really important that you hear this, that you listen to this. This is so true. You are doing exactly what you're supposed to do. This is your divine life purpose, helping people, being of service to people. Yeah, don't feel like you should start thinking about different work. You are doing exactly what you should be doing right now. And the daily practice, so it's saying the more you practice your new skills, the more comfortable and confident you become. And I think you've already started doing that, because when it says blocks lifted, I think some of the fear came from you not having enough confidence in yourself. And what I get is that your skills have always been amazing. You've always been good at this. You've been naturally gifted at this. The only thing that has really held you back is your belief in yourself. So they're saying you've already come so far, and you're starting to trust yourself so much that keep practicing, because they want you to keep seeing how great you are at this. And I think people are going to give you compliments about it and are going to really tell you how good they think you are at it. And that's just going to help grow your self-esteem and your confidence and your comfortability in what you're doing. But it is so good. Like it says, you're being of service to like the greater, what am I trying to say here? You're being of service to something bigger than yourself. You're actually bringing in a lot of healing and a lot of good things for others in the work that you're doing. So they really don't want to see you stop, change careers, or feel disheartened, because you're doing exactly what you're meant to do. I keep saying that, but they really are saying it's so important. Don't get discouraged. Any blocks that you've dealt with were coming from, they said, fear, from your own self-doubt, from your own not being sure of your worthiness of it. And blocks lifted clearly states that those fears are starting to go away. You're starting to really have that belief in yourself, and that's going to bring in more of the finances that you're needing, or more of the clients that you're trying to find. Yeah, you're really doing some beautiful things. Like Mother Mary doesn't come out unless you're really doing works of service for people. And she's also working with you. I should definitely say that. So I do get the impression that you're helping people who are very lost in their life, who are in lower places in their life. Yeah, just amazing, amazing stuff. Don't give up on it. You are so doing what you're meant to do. And to just remember to keep practicing, keep doing it. I feel like you have something that you've been doing to keep your skills a little bit sharper, and they're saying just keep doing that and everything's going to work out. You're doing exactly what you're supposed to do. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. Things can only work out for you. This was actually a much shorter reading than I was expecting, but the message is so clear, and I don't want to overcomplicate it. It's just saying, keep going. You've got this. Don't stop. You've got it. Keep going. Follow that intuition. You're doing amazing things. Okay, that's actually all I have to say to you about your career right now. So keep going. You've got this. You're doing so good, okay? Know that, trust that. Your guides are saying it, the angels are saying it, everyone's saying it. Hello, pile 2. You chose this Bumblebee Agate. Very beautiful. Okay, let's see what messages you have about your career. We have highlights your fears of self-employment and the changes it would bring to your life. Nurture yourself. Keep going. Vision board. Ooh, and it's very interesting that you have a lot of green tones here. Very, very deep green tones. Okay, so just reading the colors for this card reading, it is talking a little bit about being in battle with your heart and your mind. So kind of not fully being present with your emotions, and kind of being very ungrounded. So what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is, I think for this pile, you're one of the people who are feeling a little bit stuck where you are. You're wanting a change. You're wanting something different, but there is this fear coming up around security. And if that would be a safe decision, a certain decision. So when I see your heart is kind of wanting this new experience, this new thing to come in, but then there's this fear that comes from just, from inner child, from all humans usually like to have a bit of security in their lives. And when we don't have that can make us feel unsafe. So it's very natural. But when I pulled these cards, I did do it with the intention of only going off the light attributes. So I'm only reading that, and that said to highlight your fears of self-employment and the changes it would bring to your life. And I do feel like this is something that you are considering, is the self-employment, maybe branching off and doing your own thing. Especially when I see the vision board here is like you're having some ideas around this, but it almost is like you need to put them a little more into the physical reality. Like I wouldn't necessarily say you'd have to do a vision board. That's when you take images or words and then put it on like a piece of paper or a bigger piece of poster paper. And you look at it and it's supposed to help you, inspire you, and remind you what you're working for. That could be something for some of you, but I actually think it's more writing out what it is that you are envisioning for yourself. So in your career, what do you want it to look like? If it is your own company, kind of putting it on paper, what you want, what your like amazing ideas are, what your heart is like feeling passionate and called to create in the world. And then the keep going, use the energy of any disappointments to fuel your creative projects with authentic emotion. Yeah, I really see this as another confirmation. I don't know if this pile right now is ready to just today, whenever you're seeing this, to quit the job they're in and like start doing this new self-employment or doing this new business. But I do see is that there's lots of encouragement that you do plan it out. You do start actually taking steps to start your own thing. And when I saw this, use any disappointments to fuel your creative projects with authentic emotion, I think it's referring to the current job you're in now, where you're not liking some of their ways of doing things. Like some of their company's standards, they literally put you off. You feel like they're not as respectful to the client or to the customer as you want it to be. The quality isn't quite there. Like this card saying right now, it's kind of putting you in this like, I can't believe I'm working with this organization. I can't believe I'm being associated with a company doing this. They're saying take that and what you want to do or what you want to see differently and put that into this new vision of what you want to do someday in your own career. So they're almost saying like there's actually a lot of learning you're doing right now. And as you're experiencing it, it might not be feeling super enjoyable. But they're saying this is actually how you get that true perspective on what you don't want to be, what you don't want to have part of your system. Because if you weren't experiencing this right now, you wouldn't know that you would need to fix it in your future career. And then nurture yourself. Investing time in self-care now will yield more energy for you later. I do feel like self-care is very important. So they're saying, because I get the feeling that this job is feeling very draining and making you feel not at your highest vibration, not in your highest state of being, not really being who you want to be. They're saying it's really important to take the time to make sure if you love going to the gym, you're going to the gym. If you love playing a certain sport once a week, do that. If you love seeing your friends a couple of times a week, do that. Make sure you're actually still maintaining those. That is so important. That is what's making your life good. And don't Don't forget about that. And if it's maybe even taking a break from people, maybe you usually read a book at night and you haven't been doing that, do that again. Sorry, those are all random examples, but they're really saying it's so important that you put a pause on everything else, because you are the most important thing in your life. It is your life. So your experience is the most important experience. And this will give you more energy for the rest of this. So, as they keep saying here, I feel like for what's coming forward for you in your career is really, they're trying to say that this is not a job you'll do forever. This is a learning phase of your life so that you know how you want to treat others and systems. And I even think like quality of service is important for some of you, that you are not going to make the same mistake in doing. And it's one of these interesting things where it's like how much you don't like what you're doing is going to be what makes what you do in the future that much better for everyone involved. If you have employees, I believe you're going to make sure that they don't feel how you're feeling right now. That there's systems in place so that they aren't delivering, like, I feel like for you all, you like deliver a lot of bad news or there's like a product or a quality of a service that isn't as clear to the customer about what they're getting, what kind of quality of product they're getting. So then there can be a lot of like confusion that could be avoided by just a little more clear advertising or something like that. I hope this is making sense for you, but I just see that there's like this, you can see all the things that are wrong with the career you're in, and it's just like sucking the life out of you essentially, because you don't see it ever changing. But that's why your guides are coming forward to say shift how you're seeing it. It's not that you will deal with this forever. You are going to do something better than what's going on in this job you're doing, but you are learning all the flaws and what also is working, because there is something working if there is financial gain being done, but you're going to do it in a more honest way. And a lot of this is talking about emotion. So there is a lot of emotion coming up for you. And I feel like instead of kind of feeling it and working through it, it is saying that you have gotten to this place where you're distancing yourself from it and you're almost like, I can't deal with this right now. I'll deal with it some other time. But so there is a little bit around with the nurture yourself card saying make sure that you are feeling those emotions, you are expressing them, you are releasing them, because they're not serving you, keeping them suppressed within you. You got to get those out. So I do feel like for this pile, it is through some kind of physical activity. Literally helps you like shake them out of your body, not feel them anymore. Or for some of you, could also be, no, honestly, I am seeing a lot of physical activity. I see some people running. I see some people just playing like some form of like outdoor summer games with friends, and like that actually brings up your energy. It's not that these emotions aren't valid, it's just that you don't want them to be suppressed, because then they'll just build up more. And I have the impression that I don't think this pile currently is depressed, but I do feel like they're saying like if you keep suppressing these emotions, it could result in depression in the future. And they don't want that for you. They want you to get through this the best that you can, with the most ease that you can, while they are also saying like it is tough right now because you really don't like what you see happening in this job and how things are being handled, I think, with specifically people. But I just want to reiterate that they are saying it is important to take steps about that other career you're thinking about. They said there's fear around you becoming your own employer and what your life will look like and how much work that might be, or just the changes there. But they are saying don't ignore that dream, don't ignore that passion, because you are going to be the change you want in the world. And it might not be tomorrow. It might not even be next year, but it's important to get those steps rolling for this pile. definitely a lot of struggle around feeling secure, and almost the point where it's like you're feeling too secure in your life that it's not exciting. But the idea of the complete opposite, this complete insecurity, is also what you're battling. So you're just really in this interesting spot in your life where you're dealing with a lot of emotions and fears coming your way, and you're navigating through them. So that is unfortunately the phase that you're in right now. But like I said, this is definitely all happening for a reason. You are learning how to be the best employer, the best, I feel like, the best customer service representative or something like that. That's a little specific, but I almost feel like that, yeah, like you're really learning how to treat people and how you want people to feel after interacting with your company or your business or your services. Okay, I believe that's all I have for you. I hope that helped. I hope that got you thinking about some things, and I just wish you the best of luck. Really just spend some time enjoying your time off of work when you're not working. Be with your friends. Read those books if you love reading books. I almost feel like this pile, it's asking you to try to laugh once a day. Just try to laugh once a day. Bring that energy up for yourselves. Hello, pile 3. You chose this piece of agate, lace agate. Okay, so let's see what you all got here. Oh, so you actually got an extra card. You have editor, deservingness, vulnerability, and then we have networker, and we have the thief, and we're only looking at the light attributes for these archetype cards. So thief I'll say right away because it sounds like it's going to be a bad card, but I actually think it is quite a good card. I'll just fix this here so you can see a bit better. Sorry, I don't know why I went so out of focus. There we go. Okay, so the thief, it says, sheds light on the potential wealth within you that can never be stolen. So it's actually quite a good card. And then the networker says, enhances unity through the sharing of information, engenders social awareness and empathy. Ooh, you know what's so interesting too? Is like I'm getting a little biased that you actually are in some sort of news related job where you could actually be a news reporter or journalist, something like that. Because I first saw this card and I was like, oh, I think you literally like send messages out to people, informant messages. And then here it actually does just say editors, your writing or other creative projects benefits from outside help and support. And I also, when I read this, sheds light on potential wealth within you that can never be stolen. It got the impression that sometimes this pile can worry that if they share too much of their skills, or if they let people see how they do their skills, they can get a little worried that it might devalue them. Like you could be a social media influencer in some way. You could be making your money in some way off of journalism or reporting news or reporting some sort of facts or getting people information about what's going on in a certain industry. And that doesn't have to be the case. Or the other possibility for career here is that they're saying that you've considered or you have started writing maybe like a book on how you became successful at whatever field you're doing. And if that's the case, I am just getting some information here around you being a little worried about if you give away like the secrets and the tools and how you became so successful, that in some ways you might lose your uniqueness in the industry, what made you successful. And I don't think that's your main focus, but I think there's a little bit of subconscious fear around that. When I see the sheds light on the potential wealth within you that can never be stolen, they're really saying that you are what makes that modality, that way of doing things, successful. Like, yes, all of what you have in a system and you've come up with the system makes it also very functional, but what other people won't have, even if they're copying that idea, it will help them, but they won't be you. They won't be you. And you yourself is what makes your business, your way of doing things, so successful. So then I kind of wanted to talk about this vulnerability card where I also kind of saw it correlate with that. And it says, listen to your vulnerable feelings as they contain wisdom and inspiration, and then pray for strength to focus on your priorities no matter what. I'm really just getting like another message around, especially if you also might be like social media influencers, or you might have a big presence on social media or in a community of people. They're really saying the more authentically you are, the more vulnerably you are, the more successful you will be, and the more inspirational you will be. Like it's more like your community will understand you, will have more compassion for you when you are authentically you. Yeah, it's like when people can relate to you and understand where you're coming from, they're less hard on you, is the kind of understanding I'm getting here. They'll be, more open to hearing what you have to say from a more compassionate place. And then this networker card says, enhances unity through the sharing of information, engenders social awareness and empathy. Yeah, so really that one's saying the exact same thing in my opinion, where I see it saying like you will only grow stronger through sharing information, sharing vulnerable, truth-proven information with those people. So if it is the journalist, news reporting field you're in, I feel like perhaps sometimes you can feel like you're walking on eggshells. You don't want to say the wrong thing and have like the wrong response. But I think what you're feeling compelled to do is essentially the right thing. Like, I'm just getting that for this pile, no matter what job you're in, what you've been hesitant about, what you've been contemplating, if it's really like the best action, they're saying it is. It is the best action for the public, at least, to move forward with that idea. Yeah. And then here it says, your writing or other creative projects benefit from outside help and support. I do also feel like some of the block here can be feeling like if you share your idea that it might get stolen, someone might take it. And how I'm seeing this is that to have like a trustworthy person in your life, I think you might already have one perhaps, to help like go over everything and really like amp up your ideas. Your ideas are already amazing, but sometimes having a second opinion or a second look at things can be just the perspective shift you needed to make that idea even better. And I don't know if it will come 100% from this other person, or they'll just say something that inspires you on how you can make it even better than it already is. So more or less what I'm getting for this pile, what's coming your way in your career, is they're saying to really know that you are valuable, that your value comes from you and no one can take that from you. And then the other thing that is really coming through is, being a little more open and honest and vulnerable in what you are doing. So I really got the impression that you have community, or like it is more of a community following that you might have in industry or your job. And they're saying that to be more vulnerable will strengthen that community around you. And deservingness, I do want to comment a little bit more on that, where it's saying that sometimes maybe you're worried that you're asking for too much, or maybe financially you feel like it's more than maybe what you deserve or something along that lines. And then this is just coming through to say, no, that's not true at all. You are worth every penny. So if you're having some doubts about maybe raising prices or charging people a little more for your time, it's saying, don't second guess that. You are so valuable. The wisdom you share with people is worth it. You are worth it. Oh boy. And there's a kitty cat. Hi, Steve. Yeah, that's definitely coming through. I don't know exactly what you all are doing for work, but I just get that you're quite skillful at it. Like, it really says that you have a brain that understands how this system works, understands how this industry operates, and needs how you can be successful in it. And you've really just nailed it. You're really great at it. You're really in your niche, is how I see it, whatever it is that you're doing. And to just not forget that you are the value in it. I know how people can say everyone's replaceable, but I don't feel like you're necessarily replaceable. You are the unique thing that makes whatever you do successful. It's not a system, it's you that makes it truly successful. So other people, what it's coming to my mind is like Tony Robbins. He's a motivational coach, right? He's been around for like decades and decades, I think 40 years. And he teaches other people exactly what he does, but no one is like him. Even though he's taught people everything he does and knows, no one can word things as well as he can. No one can bring the energy that he does. They can all be great, but no one is as great as him. And it's not because he's holding back in any way on what he's teaching them. He just is that magic factor. That is you. You're like the Tony Robbins of your industry. You are great at what you do. And even if someone did have the step-by-step, the word for words, what you do, you make it amazing. You are so gifted at what you're doing. Okay. I think that's all they really wanted me to share with you, but it's so important. I know this is short, but it's like short and important and very specific. So I just wish you the best of luck. Really, really know that you are great at what you're doing, and that sharing is not going to take away from what you're doing, because you're just amazing at it. And that's never going to change. Okay. You all have a great, great day. I'm wishing you the best of luck moving forward, and I hope for the most success for you. You know, I really see that you are doing great things out there. Hello everyone. So today's Reiki session had a little bit of an update. We just got these singing bowls today, and we were thinking how fun would it be to incorporate them into this Reiki healing. So please be mindful of the fact that we have literally never played singing bowls until today. But we really wanted to incorporate them because they are so powerful. They're so good at balancing, aligning, and clearing your chakras. And it's just another way to do it with sound. So we have attuned all the singing bowls to Reiki energy. We have put intentions into them. We have essentially activated them. And now you're going to hear us play them. So I'm going to be off to the side here, sending just Reiki energy from myself to you all as the collective, as well as we are going to play the singing bowls to help with that, just amplify the Reiki energy. And we're going to do it for about 10 minutes. I always feel like that's the amount of time that everyone has to do things like this. So here we go. We'll see how it how it turns out. We were just really excited to use it. So here we go. We're going to get started now. Please take 4 deep breaths, ground yourself. You can sit down with your eyes closed, or you can lie down with your eyes closed. If you do have somewhere to be in about 10 minutes, maybe set an alarm just in case you don't wake up. Yeah, so here we go. Okay, everyone, that is the end of this session. Please slowly open your eyes, come back to the physical body, move your toes, maybe stretch your neck, roll back your shoulders. If you're lying down, take some time before sitting up. And if you have water near you, please drink some water and ground yourself back into the physical body. I felt a lot of energy in this one. I had felt like this would be a very powerful thing to do, and I feel like I did not understand to what point it would be, to what level it would be. So please just be gentle on yourselves. Take as long as you need to come back. And yeah, just maybe journal if you saw anything, if you had any visuals, any visions come forward, and just take some time to think about it. If not, don't worry about it. Sometimes it happens and sometimes it doesn't. All right, you all have a good day. Sending you lots and lots of love and light, and blessings to you all.